The Cursed Mansion. In the village's shadow, the ominous mansion loomed, its decrepit walls harboring tales of anguish and shadows that moved in the periphery. Sarah, an intrepid journalist drawn to the paranormal, couldn't ignore the chilling allure of the mansion's sinister reputation. With a shiver running down her spine, she armed herself with her camera and a flickering flashlight, stepping into the realm of the unknown. The moment the grand entrance door groaned shut behind her, a suffocating blanket of darkness enveloped her, the air charged with malevolence. The temperature plummeted, and Sarah felt unseen eyes watching her every move. The whispers began instantly, low and insidious, weaving through the air like serpents, slithering into her mind, planting seeds of terror. With every step deeper into the mansion's heart, the whispers intensified, transforming into tormented screams and guttural cries for mercy. Sarah's flashlight flickered erratically as unseen forces toyed with her, shadows stretching and contorting into monstrous forms, lunging at her from the dark corners. She found herself in a decayed nursery, the air saturated with the stench of death and despair. The whispers here were deafening, filled with the agony of lost souls. The shadows took on lives of their own, reaching out with ghostly fingers, brushing against her skin with an icy caress that sent shivers down her spine. In the room's center, an ancient, tarnished mirror stood, its surface rippling like dark water, an aura of pure evil emanating from it. As Sarah gazed into the depths of the mirror, her reflection twisted, revealing a hellish scene behind her. A myriad of tortured children's spirits, their eyes empty voids, faces frozen in screams of terror. They pointed with trembling fingers behind her, their voices rising to a cacophony of despair, urging her to see the truth that lay in the shadows. Her heart hammered in her chest as she turned, coming face to face with the spectral children, their forms now horrifyingly tangible. They whispered tales of a dark presence, a malevolent entity that had stolen their lives and trapped their souls in a never-ending cycle of torment. Realization dawned on Sarah. She had to shatter the mirror to free the spirits. But as she raised her arm, the ghostly figure of a woman appeared, her eyes pits of darkness, her smile a twisted, malicious sneer. The wicked nanny, the orchestrator of the curse, her laughter sending chills down Sarah's spine. The temperature dropped further, the whispers turned to agonized wails, and the children's spirits screamed in terror. The ghostly nanny lunged at Sarah, her form enveloping her in shadows, whispering dark promises of eternal torment. With a surge of adrenaline-fueled desperation, Sarah hurled her flashlight at the mirror, shattering it into countless shards. The mansion convulsed, as if in its death throes, the air filled with the cacophony of breaking glass and tormented screams. And then, an oppressive silence settled. The children's spirits had vanished, their cries silenced, their pain finally at an end. But as Sarah stumbled out of the mansion, her sanity hanging by a thread, she realized she had irrevocably altered her reality. The mansion now stood eerily silent, its secrets laid bare. But the darkness had seeped into Sarah's soul, the whispers etched into her very being. As the village slowly awakened, oblivious to the nightmare that had unfolded, Sarah was left to grapple with the haunting echoes of her ordeal, wondering if she would ever find respite, or if the shadows would continue to haunt her dreams, an endless, terrifying reminder of the cursed mansion's dark legacy. The Whispering Shadows. The quaint little town of Greenwood was nestled on the edge of a sprawling ancient forest, known to the locals as the Whispering Woods. It was a place shrouded in mystery and old wives' tales, and on one fateful autumn evening, it became the setting for a chilling ordeal. 7-year-old Lily Thompson had always been a curious and adventurous child, much to the worry of her doting parents, Sarah and James. That day, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and red, Lily ventured a little too far into the Whispering Woods, enticed by the soft whispers that seemed to call out her name. Panic ensued when Lily didn't return home. The entire town rallied, forming search parties, combing through the thick foliage, calling out for the young girl. The forest, once a peaceful haven, now echoed with the frantic voices of the searchers and the unsettling whispers of unseen entities. Hours turned into days, and the town's hope began to wane. Sarah and James, however, fueled by a parent's unwavering love, pressed on, delving deeper into the forest than any of the other searchers dared to go. And then, just as the last rays of the setting sun illuminated the forest in a ghostly glow, they found her. Lily was sitting in a small, hidden cave, her back to the entrance. As Sarah and James called out her name, she turned around, a serene smile on her face, her eyes completely white. Relief quickly turned to horror as they realized that something was terribly wrong. "Lily?" Sarah whispered, stepping closer. The girl's smile widened, but it was not the innocent smile they knew and loved. It was something else, something sinister. "Hello, Mother, Father," she spoke, her voice laced with an otherworldly tone. "Lily, sweetheart, we need to get you out of here," James said, reaching out to grab her hand. But Lily recoiled, her smile fading. "I cannot leave. I belong to the woods now." Sarah, tears streaming down her face, realized the grim truth. "You're not our Lily, are you?" The entity inside Lily laughed, a sound that sent chills down their spines. "Lily is here, but she is mine now. I have waited centuries for a host, and she wandered right into my grasp." Sarah and James were faced with an impossible choice. The entity made it clear: leave, and it would spare the town from its wrath. Stay, and try to fight for their daughter's soul, and it would unleash hell upon Greenwood. The forest held its breath as Sarah and James made their decision. With broken hearts and tears in their eyes, they chose to leave, leaving their daughter's possessed body behind, saving their town but losing their beloved Lily forever. The whispering woods fell silent that night, the whispers fading away, as if mourning the loss of innocence. Lily's body was never found, and the town of Greenwood was left with a chilling story that would be passed down through generations. But deep in the heart of the forest, in a small hidden cave, the spirit of a young girl remained, trapped and alone, her soul forever bound to the whispering woods. Shadows in the Hollow. In the quaint, tight-knit community of Maple Hollow, an air of panic and desperation shrouded the town as news spread of young Emily Thompson's disappearance. The 8-year-old had been last seen playing near the edge of the Eldwood Forest, a sprawling expanse of trees with stories of its own. The townspeople, armed with flashlights and determination, banded together in a relentless search, combing through the dense foliage and calling out her name. Among the searchers were Emily's parents, Sarah and John, their faces etched with worry and fear. They delved deeper into the forest, driven by a parental instinct that bordered on the supernatural. And as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting eerie shadows through the trees, they stumbled upon a sight that would haunt them forever. In a hidden, secluded part of the forest, they found a small cave, and inside sat Emily, her face illuminated by a strange, ethereal light. Her smile was serene, yet chilling, and her eyes, once a vibrant blue, were now completely white. "Emily," Sarah called out tentatively, her voice trembling. The little girl's head tilted slightly, as if acknowledging their presence, but her smile never wavered. "Mommy, Daddy, you found me," she spoke, her voice echoing around the cave, laced with a sinister undertone that sent chills down their spines. "Sweetheart, we need to get you out of here," John urged, stepping forward. But as he did, a gust of wind howled through the cave, extinguishing their flashlights and plunging them into darkness. When the lights flickered back on, Emily was standing, her gaze fixed on her parents. "I can't leave, Mommy. The forest wants me to stay." Sarah, desperate and heartbroken, reached out to touch her daughter, but Emily stepped back, her smile fading. "The forest is angry, Mommy. You shouldn't have come here." And then the cave began to tremble. rocks falling from the ceiling as a demonic voice echoed through the cavern. "You've trespassed in my domain. The girl is mine now." Sarah and John, realizing the gravity of the situation, made a heart-wrenching decision. They turned and fled, the demonic laughter following them out of the cave and through the forest. They emerged into the safety of the town, their daughter's voice fading into the night. The townspeople, seeing the despair in Sarah and John's eyes, knew that something unspeakable had happened in the Eldwood forest. The search was called off, and a heavy silence fell upon Maple Hollow. Weeks turned into months, and the story of Emily Thompson became a chilling legend whispered about in hushed tones. But for Sarah and John, the nightmare was far from over. Late one night, as Sarah applied her lipstick in the bathroom mirror, she heard a whisper, a voice laced with malice and hatred. "Can't you see? She was the first, but she won't be the last." And as the voice continued to taunt her, a dark presence entered her body, taking control. Her reflection in the mirror changed, showing a demonic version of herself, her eyes completely white. She tried to fight, to scream, but the entity was too strong. "Your body is mine now," the voice said triumphantly. Sarah was left trapped inside her own mind, forced to watch as the demon, now in control, spread chaos and darkness throughout Maple Hollow, leaving the town and its residents forever scared by the shadows in the Eldwood forest.